Alrighty, Watkins Glen International Speedway. We're here for our first high performance driver education track event. Got the Z pulling in the garage for the night. This is the night before. We'll get settled. We'll get our first tech inspection done and get our registration complete. And we'll meet some cool people, see some cool cars. And in the morning we meet up with our instructor, Bert, who is going to go through and get us around the track safely. We'll hear from him for our very first lap right here in 1 sec.
Alright. Door shut. Chain strap on. Good. Communicator in place. Put that out of your way. Alright, so every once in a while if you see me leaning forward, all I'm doing is I'm just trying to catch it to your mirror, and some instructors actually will repoint your mirror. I don't like to do that. I like you to have it, because that's the way you're going to drive, and someday I won't be in the car, right? So, but so don't get alarmed at that. I might give you a little bit of hand signals, but I'll talk you through it too. Like brake, I'll go like this. You know, brake with my hand. Okay. You know, gas, I might go like this. Right, and of course turn right, turn left, and I'll try to be checking your mirrors, and I'll try to let you know, hey, there's somebody coming up, and I'll say, you know, I'll pass on. If it's a left-hand corner, we give the pass out the left-hand side. I'll say pass to driver's left, right, or if it's a pass for the right-hand corner coming up, and you stay on line, they go offline. I'll say over the top. So. All right, sound good?
Yep.
These are fun cars. I almost bought one of these one time.
It was a during COVID purchase from a guy who had to get rid of it.
Ah, nice.
$2,500.
Oh my gosh. Wow, that's a steal. That's amazing, isn't it? Can you still hear me okay?
Yep.
Just to hear, because you know the wind's gonna start to blow here.
Alright, buckled in.
Yep.
Chin strap on. Yes. You ready? Yes, go.
Yep. Alright. So as we pull out here, generally what I like to do is you know, once you're up here, just tap the brakes a little bit. A few times, make sure everybody's home, right? Because your brake fluid sometimes just settle up higher, you know, especially after it gets hot. So you want to make sure you break down on the brakes and make sure everything's off the tires and that area. Now, what you want to do right here is check that mirror, because you want to see if anybody's coming up that straightaway right here. Okay? Probably not, since, you know, we just got on the track. So then, as you're coming out, check it again. Okay, then stay right before this line. Don't go over the other thing. So what you want to do is follow this movie all the way around this pavement. Stay on it and come ahead. Right here, now start to turn this over. Very good. Little early, actually. Yeah. Because the apex is way down there. Right?
1 second. 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 1 second.
completes our very first lap around the Glen, and right here we'll transition over to our last little bit of that first session. We spent about 20 minutes out there, and we'll be pulling right into the pits here, learning our hand signals. So we'll have a fist up in the air out the window to signal our other drivers that we're going into the pits.
Kevin was saying in the class, there's such a variation in the cars. That 944 has probably got 180, maybe. So what do you think of the event so far?
Great.
Good. Hopefully I wasn't talking too much.
No, it was perfect.
And I hope it helps.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, there's, once we get parked, we'll just debrief for a couple minutes. There's a couple things we'll talk about. Now, the next session when we go out is your exercise at the beginning.
Yep.
It's about 3 laps or so, where you're going to be giving and taking passes.
Yep.
Just to get everybody used to all the passing protocols, we're going to try to use as many of the passing zones we can. You're going to be paired up with another partner. And we start that very early on, so it just gets it ingrained into our culture, and that way we don't have the trains that develop, later on. So a lot of groups don't do that, but we do. All right.
Heading out into our second session of the day, you can see some raindrops on the windshield. Yes, we're getting a little bit of precipitation, but that's actually to my advantage. Being a lower horsepower vehicle, I can keep up a little bit better than most of these other cars that are way higher horsepower. In the next couple of laps, we catch a few others, including this yellow 911, and he'll let us through down into turn 6. See a few more raindrops coming down. Bert giving me clear instructions how to be safe on this pass. Here we'll come out of turn 4 and look for this BMW to give us the point by. Can't pass unless they give you the opportunity. They'll do that with a point buy. There it comes. And there we go. And second session is complete. Let's see what Bert has to say.
Yeah, that was a nice session. I think as it kind of, you got into a better rhythm. This track has a great rhythm to it once you get it. That's what you feel it. Like,
Yeah, you kind of feel the repeatability.
Yeah, it just. And even great race drivers from all over, they say that this is one of the best rhythms to any circuit. You know, it's got a mix of everything: fast corners, slow corners, uphill, downhill.
And moving on to our third and fourth sessions of the first day. You can see it did not get any drier. So as we fight through the raindrops, we still have fun picking our lines, passing a few cars, getting passed by others. But all fun, and learning the track is what it's all about. We fight through the puddles to end the day and look forward to tomorrow. Day 2 turned out to be much drier than day 1. Got to spend a little bit of time watching the more advanced drivers go around the track. Here we come up through the S's, turn 2 and 3. Down in the back, turn 8 into 9. So as the track dries out, the amount of passing I get to do is less and less. And these higher horsepower cars just seem to be able to get from corner to corner so much quicker than I can. But still made it fun. They get their passing practice in on me, that's okay. So here we're pulling out of the garage for our second run of day 2. This will be a very short-lived attempt as we zoom in here on the gauge cluster, and in just a second we'll see, yep, that's the airbag light going off, which luckily I noticed just before we got on the track, and we got a chance to pull off. So we got a third run in where we got to do the passing practice that Bert talked about yesterday, and we got paired up with this red Jaguar here, which was a lot of fun. Specifically, we were working on late point buys, which means that the lead driver would give the point buy for the trailing driver just before getting to a corner. So good practice of maintaining driving lines and getting by safely. on to the fourth and final run of day 2. The weather was really perfect. We got some really good runs in. And here we are, basically the last lap of the day. And as we pull out of turn 9 and heading towards turn 10, we shift and car goes into limp mode as it overheated just a bit. Clicked on the check engine light and ended our day. Luckily right before pit entrance, so we didn't hold anybody up and got right off the track safely.
Well, you were going carrying pretty, you know, that was your by far the most momentum you were carrying. Well, I'm glad you spotted it there quickly. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So even with a couple of hiccups, car was great. Did everything I asked it to. So we'll say farewell to Watkins Glen for now. We had a super great time. I want to say thank you to the Niagara Region Porsche Club of America for putting on the event. Big thanks to Bert Zander for being an awesome instructor. Big thanks to my brother-in-law Mike for getting me into this. And big thanks to my wife for letting me drive, quote-unquote, her car. And if you're interested in getting into high-performance driver education, take a look at niagarapca.org for some great resources on what to do and where to go. Thanks everybody. Catch you later.